Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride. Ooh. In a one-horse open sleigh. Wow, that was maybe our best yet.
That was NPR worthy right there.
Yeah, Tiny Desk concert of Candy
That
Cane
was.
and Christine.
We should do that.
We
Yeah.
are, again, back at it. Like Daniel. Damn Daniel. We're back again. Back at it again in the North Pole.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta say, it's the season finale.
This is the moment you've all been waiting for. Literally,
Episode
you're like, when is this
4.
gonna
We're
end?
like, shit.
They're like,
Fourth
oh, there's a 4th episode?
Like, oh.
Could have stopped.
I still gotta finish the first one.
Yeah, exactly. How are you guys
Um,
feeling about that?
Well,
That's our last episode.
It's bittersweet.
It is.
You know, I really enjoyed doing this with you guys.
This was
Me
fun.
too.
And maybe we'll be back next year.
I
mean,
definitely
yeah.
want to do this next
Yeah.
year.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know what they say.
This is season 1.
Yeah.
Our
this
journey's
is a-
just beginning.
this is
Season 1, our
journey.
journey's just begun.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Rhyming.
Yes.
You know what they say? Santa can't ride forever.
Right.
So
Santa,
I didn't know
the
they
sun
said that.
rises.
they do.
Who are they? Who's they?
All the children.
You definitely missed the the orientation here
Oh,
at the North
yeah,
Pole.
I did.
That was like on the first slide.
Sometimes I just kind of zone out.
Remember
and
when
don't
Nana
really pay
Elf
attention.
got up and started talking about the 3 sayings that we all say here at the NP?
I think I was.
One
so
was Santa
sleepy.
can't ride forever.
Uh-huh.
The other one was don't touch the thermostat.
The
Oh.
other is,
Let the thermostat touch you.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and don't feed the reindeer anything else.
But craisins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good lesson learned.
Yeah.
I
Gassy.
That's how they
the,
fly.
Yeah.
the thermostat still hasn't touched me yet, so it's pretty
Same.
it's pretty cold in here. I have to ask if we have any of our mail because the season's coming to a close. The mailboxes,
Couple stragglers.
yeah,
Yep.
they just shut the mailboxes.
Got another letter.
Yeah.
What do we got?
Well, this letter is from Tina from Long Island City.
Oh.
Queens in the house.
Okay.
What up?
Queens.
Tina writes, what was the best gift you ever received from Santa? And what are you asking for this year?
Tina.
Thanks,
Wow,
Tina.
She's got the deep. Well, it's not that deep, I guess, but.
It's a double question.
Yeah, it's a 2-part.
Yeah.
And the first part's tricky because you have to have a good memory for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know you have a good memory, lit up, Lauren, but sometimes you put your memory towards things that like a Christina Milian song that you haven't heard in 15 years.
That is exactly how my memory works. But remembering the Christmases past, I'm just gonna go with. I'll start.
Yeah.
Light
it up.
I'm gonna go with the thing I remember, even though it's probably not like my best gift of all, but there was a toy called Me and My Shadow. I don't know if anyone remembers this. It was like a golden retriever, and you had this like headset, and you told it to like sit and to come to you, and like
And it
knew
worked?
some basic commands. Worked most of the time, and I was so excited to get this damn toy. And that I remember. I probably got better gifts, but that one stands out to me.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look that up. That sounds pretty
That's a
cool
deep
though. It's
cut.
like all the joys of having a pet without. It's like the perfect gift if your like parents didn't want to buy you a dog.
Oh yeah, because I begged for a dog every year. So I was really into the robot dogs, like Techno. Do you guys
The one
remember Techno?
that did backflips, the silver one.
It didn't do
I
backflip.
swear
There was
I
Techno,
saw that
and then
at
there was
KB
another
Toys.
one, some other little pup with like light up eyes. There was multiple robot dogs. That
Definitely
was like
wanted
big
one
for a
of those.
time.
Yeah.
I was definitely into those. And What was the second part? What am I asking for this year?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like
That's what Tina asked.
Tina, you know, my list has gotten very 30-something-esque. Like, I asked for a Dyson hairdryer.
Ooh, yeah. Let me know if you get that.
Yeah.
Let me know if it works.
Well, we'll see. Santa, you know.
Can't.
I asked for a lot of
You
things.
can't ride forever.
I asked for a lot of things. They're all, like, very kind of practical. Like, my mom, I asked for that wet mop, that, like, wet vac, dry wet vac thing.
The dry wet vac.
The
Dyson.
No, the Bissell one.
Do I have the Bissell one?
I thought you were telling me about
I was
that.
raving about the Dyson, the cordless
Oh,
one that you
for
charge.
The wrong one. I asked for the wrong one.
Well, I'm sure the Bissell's
Christine
lovely.
loves this. I told my mom to get it for me.
It's called the
Fuck.
I forgot the name of it. It's like the Dyson. It's a cordless
There was
vac.
no Dyson.
I don't know if it's called like
asked for
V8 or something.
No, you wanted the
shit.
Bissell
It's
pet
great.
one.
It was the Bissell wet dry.
Oh,
Pet
wet. I don't
vac.
think
It
mine's
was cordless.
a wet one though.
Mm.
This is probably even better
I
than
got
what I
something
have.
different.
All
Okay.
right, I'm sure you'll love it
All
though.
right. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking wet dry
Bissell
vac.
Dyson.
Dyson. I asked for Drunk Elephant skincare. I asked for. What else did I ask for?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Santa's getting you all this shit.
Basically,
Alright.
grown up shit.
You
Yeah.
didn't send.
Nice grown
You sent
up
the
shit.
list to Santa, right?
I better have fucking gotten his mailbox.
Put it in our PO box.
Yeah. He should have got it. I'd be surprised.
I'm sure
he
he
better.
has.
I work at the North Pole.
For
He
real.
works right next door, but no one's allowed in his office
Yeah.
when the red light's on.
We'll see when the day comes.
He's a really
Alright.
busy guy.
All right. What about you guys?
Should I go?
Yeah,
Sure,
sure.
I'll
you
go.
go.
Best gift I ever received from Santa. It's hard because I'm blanking because I've celebrated 32 Christmases.
Yeah, it's hard
I
to
can't
remember.
really remember. But the most recent, well, I asked for it, but you know the boots that I wear all the time that are like falling apart?
Yes. Yes, actually, I know.
Did you notice they're
Not
falling
that they're falling
apart?
apart, but I know the boots you wear all the time.
So I have them in 3 different colors. I have black, dark brown, and that light gray color.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my favorite. I got those maybe 2 or 3 years ago for Christmas. They're from QVC. I know you love QVC,
do.
don't
So
you?
does
do.
my mom.
So
Shout out
I
to my boy David.
yeah.
Ooh.
Sorry about that.
Sorry. So I bought my first pair and then I asked for more for Christmas. They're so comfortable. Love them. What I want this year, I did send Santa my Amazon wish list. There's a lot of different, like, again, practical things like sweaters and stuff.
Clothes.
But my Christmas wish, I would really love Anthony Green or Circus Survive to come to the Colony in Woodstock.
Oh.
That would be
That would be
That'd be so
awesome.
my
perfect
dream.
for
Wouldn't that
them.
be wonderful?
Yes.
Ugh, I need to write them online and just be like, Colony, Colony,
Yeah.
Colony, and just like, and then my other Christmas wish maybe is like find a sugar daddy. I want Santa to deliver me a sugar daddy.
You need like a sugar cookie Sam for Candy Cane Christine.
Yeah, it'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's what I want.
Yeah.
Putting the vibe
That's
out
hard
there.
to follow up, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I think the best gift I ever received, there's a lot of them, but I think the one that I really like remember a lot was getting SmackDown 2 on PS2 on PS1. That game was sick. I was really excited for it. Back then, PS1 games were like expensive. I think they were
Yeah.
like $60,
Yeah.
$50. So SmackDown 2, that was great. Santa really delivered on that one. I also got like a Game Boy Color one year. I was this close to
Yes.
becoming like the Nintendo 64 kid. I'm pretty sure, like that Nintendo 64. Ha! That kid.
Was that a commercial or something?
It's like an America's Funniest Video.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I don't
wait,
know that
actually, I
one.
think I know what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
I'm glad I just did that, and both of you just looked at me. as
I
if-
was like,
I was like, is this
Oh.
a commercial?
So
sorry.
what I'm looking for though from Santa this year, big into kendama, looking for a new kendama. Shout out to the kendama army out there. I'm also asking for boots, these Vans boots. I thought they were really cool. And, just little other things, books to read. Yeah. So I think that Tina really came in clutch with the question.
Yeah, thanks, Tina.
She really made me like rack my brain. Now I'm thinking through all the Christmases and remembering. I'm like, that definitely wasn't the best.
Oh
like,
yeah,
that was what came to mind, so it must have been memorable. But like, I've gotten a synthesizer, I've gotten a record player, much nicer things than me and my shadow. But
and to think that you still go to sleep every night with that headset on.
I know.
Talking to that damn dog.
Yeah, wherever he is.
So, what was the movie that we watched for the finale of season 1?
We watched A Magic Christmas, which was from 2014, and this was an hour and 19 minutes. Felt longer.
It did feel longer.
The pacing was interesting at certain parts.
Yeah.
Certain scenes definitely did not need to be. I think they were trying to stretch it out. Like, they needed some more time, and just certain scenes, like the road trip to get to their cabin, the charades game,
typing.
It was like
typewriter.
It was like real time, literally, like as if it was like a documentary.
It started to get awkward. Like I felt like I was like peeking in on them. Like
Do you think that was done intentionally, so you felt like, the boringness of being in the country sometimes is slower paced?
I'd like to think that
they were that
probably
smart.
Yeah, but I don't think they were.
Yeah.
But feel free to use that.
Sure, I will.
If you all hear this.
Yeah.
So, how does the movie start? We've got.
So it's the Carter family.
Yep.
And they're the stars of the show. And it's Kai, and Kai is the son, teenage son, and teenage daughter named. What was
Sienna.
Sienna.
I think his name was Kyle, but they called him Kai, like as a nickname. Yep.
Kyle and Sienna, two very typical teenagers.
Yep.
Kyle is like the basketball star. He's very into sports, and the daughter is just glued to her pink smartphone the entire time.
Yeah, she's like sleeping. The movie starts with them all sleeping, and like you see their personalities through their rooms, and like it's all narrated by what you've come to find out is the dog, and
Buster.
You see Sienna in bed, like asleep with her phone in her hands, like and it's 5:59 on like everyone in the house wakes up at 6 o'clock at the same time. Just keep that in mind.
And then the parents, what are the Jack and Holly? Jack and Holly.
There you
they
go.
Wake
Jack
up.
Frost and Holly. It's always a Christmas name, like.
Mm-hmm.
And they wake up at 6 a.m. and they look like they had like a wild night, like the way they're waking up.
Yeah.
And then they look at each other and they're just like shout like "Good morning, Carter family," like from their bed to the whole house. Like who does that?
It was weird. Yeah.
It looked like they banged all night.
Yeah.
The way that her hair was. They were very horny for each other this whole movie.
Yeah, it was sweet.
Which was nice. Yeah.
But they acted like they were like newlyweds.
They've been dating since high school, it seems like. I think they were high school sweethearts.
Yeah.
And Kyle's 16. So they've probably been together 20 plus years.
Yeah. So
just really driven.
The next scene though you see at 6 o'clock, the mom's already making dinner, in the middle of making dinner. Breakfast. I'm sorry. My brain's literally shutting down as the finale is over, as the season's coming to a close.
Potatoes.
She's making like eggs, potatoes, but it's 6 o'clock. So that means within a minute. And then they keep cutting back to like the son who's still in bed in the same. They didn't think that one through. I do give them credit for making sure the clocks are all the same in each one of the rooms. That was good.
Yeah.
So they're all gathering around for, the breakfast in the morning, and Kai, he's like obsessed, just to make sure that we all know that he's like loves basketball. He's like dribbling spinning the basketball on his plate that he's going to have breakfast on. And they're like...
They literally have to ask him to stop spinning the basketball on the breakfast plate. He's like, can you take the basketball
And the ball looks so old. It looks like it's from, when basketball first was invented.
Yeah. They, took it out from, their grandparents', shed. Yeah, so...
we then go to the bakery.
Yeah, that's where they work. So you find out that Jack's father passed away, and they left the bakery to them. So
Carter's Bakery.
Carter's Bakery. It's called, original name. And that's where they're working. So basically, you get the vibe they don't have a lot of money, and they're like kind of struggling a little bit. But they're struggling, and we find out Jack likes to dabble in the stock market for some extra dough. Oh my god. Didn't mean to do that.
Oh,
Bakery pun. And yet he's fucking giving away all their pastries and cakes and cookies to
he's trying to be nice.
He's trying to be nice,
He's a good
but like
guy.
no wonder they're
Business.
struggling.
Yes,
He's a good guy. 'Tis the season for giving.
Yeah, but not when he can't afford
But you know what I like though? The wife is never pissed. She's like kind of like, you gotta stop giving stuff away. But in the end of the day, like
You like that she's on Quaaludes the whole time. She acts like
This whole movie,
Really?
he can do no wrong in his wife's eyes.
oh yeah.
She just loves him so much.
Yeah. She has a tolerance
Everything
like I've never
he does,
seen.
yeah,
in
everything he does, she's just
regular
like,
person.
wow, this is amazing.
Yeah. Like he could do something really like he was
like
like
poo his pants.
And she'd be like, oh,
let
sweetheart.
me clean you up.
Yeah, I'll wipe your hiney hole. I love you. Your hiney hole. I'll clean it. She was obsessed with him. But you know what? I'm glad that they were a good couple.
Yeah, they're meant to be.
They're meant to be
fucking
with
two
each
peas in
other.
a pod.
She fucking loves him. It was actually cute. That was like
Yeah.
a cute part of the
Yeah,
movie.
I'm just so
So
cynical.
how do we end up with what's the trigger that makes them? So later we find out when they go back to the house, he's looking and he's like, oh shit, the cabin I used to go to is closing after this season. We gotta go up one final time before they shut it down.
And it's very cheap because it's
Yeah.
really outdated. And him and his dad used to go there every year. And there's, some tension in their family right now. I think in the movie, the description, it was like this tech-obsessed family. But really,
It's really just the daughter.
it's just the daughter obsessed with her cell phone. The
And
dude
he's
like
like,
ends up
"I've
typing
looked at
on a
stocks
typewriter.
once."
Yeah. So yeah, he's like, this will bring our family together.
And what's the name of this place?
Oh, Farthering Pines.
Which I first thought was Fathering Pines.
Which kind of made sense.
Right.
But
Right. I think they probably did that kind of on
Farther,
purpose too.
father.
Because wasn't one of the kids thinking it was called Fathering Pines, and then the one
Yeah.
corrected
I think
the
so.
one was like, no, it's Farthering Pines. So he wants them to go off the grid. He wants to have vacation there. And the wife's, again, really excited. She feels like he can do no wrong. She's like,
Yeah.
yes!
She's like,
Yes!
it's perfect.
Yeah, I
The
think she
kids are
literally
like,
says, I
"Ew."
love you.
Yeah,
After
a million
he's
multiple
like, yeah.
times. Like, whoa, girl.
And then they hop in their silver CRV and they hit the road. And
For a really long fucking
time. Now their plates are from Michigan, but I don't know what Michigan really looks like. But it looked like they were in like the West. It didn't look like they were
Yeah,
really
it looked
driving.
like Utah. Like, it's very mountainous, Michigan.
There were even
snow,
red
but-
rocks at one point, right?
Yeah, there was like red rock formation. Like,
But maybe Michigan has that.
yeah, I've never been there, but it didn't really look like what I would picture as Michigan.
Oh, I want to Google Silver Fork. Can you Google that real quick and see if that's really in Michigan? Because the street signs said that. And they looked like they were real.
Road, street.
There were roads, and then like in the corners, to like Silver Forks, as if like that was the name of the town
Okay.
or something. Anyway, while you look that up, I'll just say they get to Silver Forks or
California.
farther.
Wait, that's not in California. There was so much snow.
There can be snow
In Northern California, there
Yeah.
could be snow.
Then that's what I'm guessing because I feel like this movie was probably made in California.
Yeah,
Yeah, it did
So-
not look like
It's in
Michigan.
El Dorado National Forest, so maybe.
All
there was
right, that's
snow up
probably
there.
yeah.
there.
that
And the
makes
one
sense.
family was from LA, but their
Yeah.
plates were
Yeah.
from Florida, so
Yeah.
that was another weird thing.
Yeah, there's
So they get there, they're in this like little cabin. It's cute, right? You would stay there.
She says,
Cozy.
yeah, like even the wife's like, there's central heat, and the father wants to do it all like
old school.
Old school. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and I don't blame him.
They want to get the fire going, which, like, yeah, have a fire, but, like, he is just really, like, he wanted to relive this experience that he had growing up, clearly.
It's so cute.
Yeah,
It was cute.
endearing.
So, is it the next, they spend one night and the next day they bump into this family?
I didn't even think it was the next day.
Was it the next day or was it that day? Okay, maybe it was that day.
I think they were, like, unpacking and they took their rolling suitcase off the top of the car.
And it was
I
like...
don't think it was tied down. They just, like, started taking, like, regular suitcases down.
They bump into the Jones family, which consists of Robert, Eva, and Tommy. Robert is everything that Jack ever wanted to be. He invests in the stock market. He's successful. He has a big cabin, big car.
Yeah.
Whatever that car was. Eva, is it Ava or Eva?
I think Eva.
Eva is a chef. And then the son, I don't know what the son does. He's just like...
The son just has really nice hair.
Yeah, it's very nice hair. Nice guy.
Young man.
There was a little bit of confusion over the cabins. They were kind of arguing at first, like, that was the cabin? It's almost as if, like, the guy was making him question if the cabin they were staying in was, like, the original cabin.
This movie is a psychological thriller, so... Right. I'm really glad.
But, like, I noticed they never, like, answered that. It was just this weird conversation they had, but you never got clarity on that. But, like, why would it be a different cabin when the guy's stuff was in there, like the typewriter and all that stuff?
They knew each other from growing up. So I think it was like, I think that they stayed there also. It was a shared cabin.
The dad, like, Robert, is that his name? Robert Jones?
Yes, Robert Jones.
They pull up and you're like, who are these people? And you come to find out Robert and
grew up.
And the guy grew up together. They went to the cabin together with his dad. Like, so yeah.
But then they're staying at the like
really
two-decker,
nice. But then they have their
double-decker cabin next door. And basically, this is the family that you can't get away from. They pop up literally every single day. Every single time they're like, oh yeah, we got this, this, and this. And all the kids at the same time are like, oh, Dad, let's go there. And the dad is like, no, I don't really, like, let's just chill at the cabin. Like, you know, like, we could play games, we can make a fire.
Yeah, and so the kids are, like, not interested, and they just want to go to bed, like, you know, at night. He's, like, gets a fire going, and he's like, all right, let's play games, and the daughter is just like, I'm just gonna go to bed, and the son's like, I'm gonna listen to a basketball game on the radio, like, I'm gonna go to bed.
You poor baby.
And then the wife, the mom, she's just like she's like, we can spend time together.
She got excited when they went into the room. She was like, ooh, we have a whole night with each other.
Well, this leads us to the first thing that they do with the other family is they ask them to go snowmobiling with them, and it's like a blast. They basically all have a lot of fun, and then they go, and then at the end of that, right afterwards, the friend is like, all right, I'll give you a challenge. I'll race you from here to there in snowshoes. And this is aside from the scene where they drive and they're dubbing over just scenes of them driving over and over and over again, this is the second longest scene, I feel like, in the movie.
Yeah, it's like two grown men in snowshoes, like, running around very slowly, like, racing pretending to race each other. And I think even Robert, like, knocks Jack down, and like everyone like runs to Jack because they like the wife again. She's like, "Oh my god, honey!" It's like, chill out. He literally just tripped.
He was
like,
fine.
Deep snow.
Like he didn't get hurt or anything.
Yeah. She acted like he was.
But I think this is where they start to show the dynamic between them. Yeah. As growing up, he's always wanted to be this guy, and this, you know, he's never felt like he was ever cool
What did
enough.
you say before while we were watching it? You said it was like a dick measuring contest between the two.
I meant to say it's a candy cane measuring
Oh, right.
contest.
I'm sorry. Candy cane measuring contest.
Yes, it definitely was. And then they would go back to the house, the big house, and, you know, they had a big screen TV. The daughter, what's her name again? Sienna. She's like infatuated with this.
Yeah, she's smitten.
Hot young boy, and she also she keeps rudely asking him to use his cell phone because she couldn't stand to be away from it. So she's just like on his phone the whole time. She barely knows this kid.
Yeah.
She's just like on his phone. But she also obviously has a crush on him. And yeah, they're just, you know, the kids want to be over there because they have all the flashy, fun things. And then Nick keeps being like, or Jack, I don't know why I keep wanting to call him Nick. Jack just is like, all right, we need some time alone with like our family. Like, let's go back to our cabin and like do some things. And, you know, they like reluctantly like eventually go back with him. But
it's so awkward too, because when they go back, like the first scene that they do is like, the father's like, okay, like, what do you normally do on your phone? And the girl's like text my friends, post pictures of each other. And then he's like, okay, well, what would you do if we were all sitting here at the table? Like, what would you do? And she's like, I'd do like probably like #fun with my fam. And he's like, okay, that's cool. He's like, you know, when you tweet it on Facebook, what do you do? And then
you don't tweet on Facebook, dog.
She's like, oh my god, you're so stupid. And then he's like, okay, what about you, son? Your basketball game. Like, if you took a picture of your like, what would you say? And it just, like, fizzles out. And the mom's like, hashtag? Like, so stupid.
And then the power goes out.
Yeah, the power
literally
goes out.
In that scene, the power goes out.
Yeah.
And right after that, I'm pretty sure, Lauren, you literally said, feel like I'm watching someone's home videos. So
that was when they
were playing Pictionary.
When they were playing Pictionary, actually.
Okay, so
yeah.
the power goes out. It's freezing.
Yeah.
The Joneses come up and they're like, "We got the Jenny." Like, you know, it's like.
Well, prior to that, Jack and the son, Kyle, remember they go and look for wood.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And then they come back. And there's candles, and like the mom again is really horny. Like, we like candles. Mushroom candle.
Oh, also on the walk where they were having getting wood, the son and the dad's like, something's not right. Like, she likes that boy, and I'm worried that your sister's gonna get hurt. And
watch her back.
And he's like, it's okay, Dad. Like, I'm gonna take care of her. Like, don't worry. Like, I've got this. Like, they're like worried about her.
And they hug it out.
Yeah, hug it out awkwardly. Come back, and then the candles are all like, it looks like a fucking seance is about to happen in the cabin.
And then they awkwardly kiss in front of their kids for far too long.
Right.
And I really, honestly, unless you remember, I forgot how they end up going over. Aside from it's just way too cold.
It's the next morning.
Yeah.
They're all...
It jumps to the next morning awkwardly. Like, it just cuts to them shivering. Freezing by the fireplace with blankets.
And then they knock, what's his face? What's his fucking face? Oh, sorry. Robert comes and he's like, yeah, our power went out too. We have a Jenny, or whatever he said.
Yeah, generator.
And then he's like, yeah, come on over.
Oh, yeah. And then you find out they're basically, like, they're all, like, doing their own thing in the Joneses' house.
Yeah.
And the father is, like, sitting with the friend, and he's, like, he's reading over some of his poems that he's written. And the guy's like, you know, I just gotta get them down on a piece of paper. And he's like, these are so good. He's always like, these are good poems.
Like, you gotta get these published. He's like, oh, no. So they're all there hanging out, and then eventually Jack, the dad, he's like, all right, I'm gonna go back and, like, I gotta go concentrate on my writing, because, you know, he has his typewriter.
Somebody writes on the typewriter.
Fucking writes on typewriter. And he's like, all right, well, at least have your kids and wife stay. And he's like, all right. So he goes back home to his dark, cold cabin to go
with a blanket over his head.
With a blanket over his head, like, typing on the typewriter. Kids and the mom come back, like, late at night because they spent the whole day there at the other cabin. And the wife, again, excitedly comes over to him and she's like, oh my god, honey, like, how you doing? Like, what were you writing? He's like, oh, I got nothing. And he, like, throws a little...
It's like sulking.
Like, sulking fit.
Oh my god.
How do we get to the two wives competing for desserts?
I think they were just,
Was that before?
I think that was
Spending the
while they were in the
day.
cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were just spending the day together because he was off doing his own shit. Remember he was on a typewriter with the dog outside? It might have been like when he was doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, it was when they did another competition. Robert and Jack.
Oh, it's during the snow tubing.
Oh, they were
They
snow
did a
tubing.
snow tubing
Yes.
competition. So they're basically trying to relive these like Winter Olympics they did growing up with the granddad and whatever. So the next competition they want to do is snow tubing. And while they're doing that outside, the wives are in the kitchen, of course, looking out the window and being like, oh, should we do a little competition? Because they're fighting over, like, one's like, oh, we should make my famous flaky brownies. Like, and the other one's like, well, what about my white chocolate cheesecake? And she's like, she's like, how about a little friendly competition? They're like, okay, you're on. So then they, like, compete about it.
Yeah.
And then they eat each other's dessert, and they have, like, a mental breakdown. They're like, the rich one, like, Eva, she's like, this is, terrible. Oh my God, this is terrible. And she's like, wow, you're rude. And she's like, no, like, it's so good, I can't stop eating it. And then they say something, like, really dumb, like, well, sometimes less is more.
Yeah.
Like, you know, be like, you don't need to be
sprinkly
rich.
cliches.
Yeah.
What happens at the snow tubing scene aside from?
Well, the one guy wins, but then the other guy's like, it's tie.
Oh yeah.
And then they're like, you know what? One final competition.
Oh yeah.
Finding the Arbol de Navidado Perfecto.
Yeah.
Which is like a magical Christmas tree that is of legend, you know?
Yeah, they tried to
know if
find
it's
all
real.
growing up, and yeah, some magical.
And like you expected it, here comes another extra long montage scene of like them trudging through the snow, talking, and just like.
Well, so the families are competing.
Yeah.
That's the whole. So
Right.
each the Carters and the Jones, they're taking their family and they're getting them all hyped up. They're like, "Come on, let's go find this magical
Find the
Christmas
tree.
tree. We're going on an adventure. We're going to beat them. We're gonna do this." And somehow it seems like the families like believe that it's magical and they get like really excited about it. So they all go and they look for this tree.
Yeah.
And then the montage of them looking for the tree. Whew.
It's very real time.
Drawn out.
You
There
see-
was an awkward scene. Oh, I'm
Oh
sorry.
yeah, no, go ahead.
There was a very awkward scene where Robert goes up to what appears to possibly be someone of Native American heritage, and he holds up his hand and he's like, how are you doing? And it's like, ooh, it was really cringeworthy.
was
It's like,
bad.
that, no. And then the guy, he asked about the sacred tree, and he's like, you don't find the sacred tree. It finds
It's
you.
a little racist.
Yeah. Very low.
It was tone deaf. I don't
Yeah.
think that should have really been, or maybe him asking someone a question is fine, but him being like, how?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like putting his hand up, that was like not needed.
Not cool.
Yeah.
Not cool. And then at another point, the main guy, what's his name? Jack?
Yeah.
He goes off to the side and he says a prayer. He's like,
Oh
"Ah."
yeah.
I literally
Every
wrote-
time he had like an emotion, his voice would change. Like, "Ah." You gotta help me find this tree.
He's like looking to the sky.
It's important to me. Thanks, Dad.
I literally wrote down praise to Daddy.
Yeah.
He literally says like Daddy.
He's like, Daddy, I need your help. And he's like, if you're next to the big man upstairs, like, tell him to help me out. And then all of a sudden, he hears the fucking dog barking. He's
What's
like,
the
thank
dog's
you,
name?
Daddy. Buster. He's like, thank you, Daddy. And he thinks, like, Buster barking is the sign.
Yeah.
Runs to his family. Also, the other family, meanwhile, you know, they think they find the tree. And then he's like, that's not it. Like, I can't feel it. Like, I don't feel that it's the right tree. And, you know, the family's, like, tired of
I
hiking.
feel
And they're
it.
like, oh, how
It was
can I
a
help
nice
you
looking
feel it?
tree.
It was
Like,
definitely nicer than the fucking real one.
I think
but-
they thought it was the right tree because it kind of stood out.
Yeah.
Like there weren't any trees near it. It was just like
Well, that's
Sticking
honestly the
out.
moral of the whole story.
Right.
Yeah.
Less is more.
Right.
Right.
So then they stumble upon the Arbol de Navidad Perfecto, for
Yeah.
real. And of course, it's the Jack Carter. And after he prayed, and he finds the tree, and he's like, this is it. And you look at it, and it's literally half a tree. It's dead. The ugliest sin. in this beautiful forest.
No leaves.
No leaves.
Barren.
Just a dead tree. And he gets all excited about it. He has this like come to Jesus moment where he starts really appreciating his family right in front of this dead tree. They have this big long hug in front of the tree.
And the other family's watching from a distance. And, you know, I mean, even what I like about this scene, though, as awkward as it is, I like that the Jones family guy also sees that this is the perfect tree. I think
he recognizes
symbolizes that, like, less is more as well. And that maybe he's been caught up. Because something we never mentioned was the father. There's a scene, a very pivotal scene in the movie where they're all around the dinner table and basically...
The Jones family.
Yes, the Jones family. You see how dysfunctional they are and how out of touch with their family they are.
Right.
And I think that it's important that he sees this tree too, because if he didn't feel that big, beautiful, fancy tree, but he feels this one, I think it shows that he's aware.
Get to your roots.
Yeah, he's aware of the value.
Literal
of
roots. Get to your roots.
Oh
my god. Oh.
Yeah, because he's been like kind of a piece of shit dad. Like they sit down together too at another scene, like to watch a game, and he starts to like ask his son a question about himself, and he goes to answer, and then of course he gets a phone call.
What's the question he asks him? He's like, "How old are you now?"
Yeah, he's like, "I'm 15," and he's like, "Whoa!" And then he gets like a phone call about like a stock. And,
He was
like,
about to tell a
walks away.
story too, mid sentence, and then he picks up the phone like he's like, "When I was," and then he's like, or whatever. Might not have been when I was, but he was like about to say something meaningful from his childhood or something, and then he just leaves on his phone. Poor kid. He just wants some.
He just wants
some
love.
dad time.
Just an unloved little rich kid.
So so they all come together as a group in front of this dead tree, and they all have a moment like, "Let's celebrate Christmas. Let's have dinner tonight." Yeah. They like walk away. The dog is still in front of the tree. They walk away while their backs are turned to this tree. The tree transforms into this beautiful. It's like full, and there's ornaments on it. And it's just like
another long
magical.
Magical.
Yeah, magical.
Nice twinkle goes up the tree.
Yep. But the dog notices it, which was cool. By the way, this dog was so cute.
So cute.
Yeah, he beat Scoots.
Definitely.
Out of the water.
So precious.
Like,
I want a
would
dog.
this dog.
Yeah.
It was very
so
cute.
So then we come to find, they had a lovely Christmas together after that.
Yep.
Rob and Jack went into business together and decided they're going to renovate Farthering Pines. And then Holly and Eva also went into business together, which it really looked like Eva just joined the Carter Bakery.
Yeah.
Did you notice if the name changed at all?
It was the same
name.
Carter Bakery.
And it's funny because like Eva was the more successful one. Like she was the one who was like owner of this big like chef company. I don't know. And then she ends up joining their bakery. Of course,
like in
less
Michigan,
is more.
Right? Less
so
is
she
more.
joins the poorer business, which makes lots of sense from a business standpoint. And
it looked like it was busy though.
It was bumping though.
Yeah,
they just needed the dad out of that business, and they started making money.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't giving away free
strudels
anymore.
Exactly.
So I think that we covered
that's pretty much
the movie. So what did you guys think?
I think this is the best out of season 1, I think, of the movies that we watched. I think Snowman's is a close second, but I thought this was just like it has its downfalls and it has its shortcomings, but I thought it was a very sweet story, and I thought that it was light and easy to watch. It's only an hour and 19 minutes. It's like nice and easy. It doesn't. There's some long scenes, but I was fully invested. Didn't really know where this was going to go. A Magic Christmas is interesting because it only happens at the very end. There's no magic up until the very end.
And no one notices the magic part except the dog.
Yeah.
That is interesting, actually. They didn't witness it, but they kind of witnessed it in their hearts.
It. Yeah,
they felt the magic in their hearts.
I think it's a sweet movie.
It was sweet.
I would recommend.
It was.
So your ranking is, I think we should all do rankings from the season. So your ranking is, this is number 1.
Yeah, this, Snowman's, Holiday Road Trip, and then Santa Claus. Santa Paws, I almost said.
Yeah.
That would have made more sense in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I keep wanting to say that. Alright, my ranking. I actually think Snowman's might have been my number 1. This would be my number... I don't know. This would be my number 2, I think. And then Holiday Road Trip 3, Santa Claus, no debate, number 4. Snowman's, I felt like the reason I put it at number 1 is I felt like the pacing of that one was the best. It wasn't one where I felt like I was like looking at my watch at all. Like, not that I wear a watch, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not like, when is this ending? And this one, there was a few points where I was like wondering that kind of dragged, even though it was like decent. But Snowman's, I felt pretty invested all the way through, and it wasn't like a lot of painful long parts.
Agreed. Candy cane?
Number 1 is definitely Snowman's for me as well.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time with 2 and 3. I'm not sure if this is 2 for me or if Holiday Road Trip is 2.
I liked Holiday
Road Trip.
It was sweet.
Yeah.
It was funnier in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
In like tacky ways, but still. This kind of was slow. I kept asking, when's the magic coming? The magic came in like the last 5 minutes of the movie, really.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is this even called a Magic Christmas? Should have been called like Christmas and Silver Forks or something, or like Christmas in the Woods. Farthering
Christmas
Pines.
or something.
Santa Claus is definitely ranked last 4. So I don't know. Honestly, I think I might put Holiday Road Trip number 2.
Yeah.
So Snowman's Holiday Road Trip. This one, which is almost number 2, but just not quite, in number 3. And then Santa Claus.
Yeah,
Sweet.
my 2 and 3 are also very close. Like,
Yeah, it's hard.
Road Trip and this are like very close.
Yeah.
The dog was cuter in this one.
Oh, absolutely.
Um,
So cute.
but
So cute.
I don't know. Yeah, they're like one of the same kind of to me.
So, what are you gonna do after the North Pole closes? Like, what are your summer plans?
I might go to Mar-a-Lago, Trump's mansion. He invited me.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
wow. I didn't know you were like...
A right wing.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, I'm not, but like
right,
I've
right.
always wanted to see the house from a design perspective. So I kind of made him think that like we were friends,
just gotta play the
so I
game
could kind
sometimes.
of go see his house. I want to go see like the gold toilets and stuff, you know. And I like golf, so I'm gonna go golfing.
You got like
Cool.
an elf-sized golf set.
Yeah, he's got me covered.
That's cool.
He's got money.
He's got small
Cool.
hands.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I'm going to. I actually picked up a shift at Smoothie King.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna be making smoothies.
You gotta stay frosty, right?
Yeah. How about you, Candy Cane?
I'm just going to live in a cabin in the woods for a little while.
At Farthering Pines.
Maybe Farthering Pines, yeah.
It sounds like a nursing home.
I kind of want to be off the grid. I'm going a little insane with like the internet and social media and North Pole book and stuff.
You're writing
Pole
it.
chat.
I will actually know someone who has an opening at Quiznos if you want to. We got a Quiznos up in the North Pole.
It's the last
Oh.
Quiznos.
I have to stay home and work.
Is
at Smoothie
Papa
King.
John's still open? Because I'm kind of interested in maybe working for Papa John's.
Yeah.
Part time.
Yeah.
You know.
Where your
so-
Papa, your Johns, as they say.
Papa Long Johns, as we call it in the North Pole.
Oh, that's.
You know where I
that's
got
true.
that from? When my brother was little. I don't know how old he was. He's so freaking cute. My sister used to work at Hannaford, and she quit her job. And he was like, so innocently. I don't even know where he got this from. He had to have been like 5 or 6. And he was like, well, where is she going to work? Papa John's? It's just the cutest thing. I'll
so
never
cute.
forget that ever. But he asked it so genuinely. He wasn't like being sarcastic, like Papa John's. It wasn't like that. It was like Papa John's. Like Like it was a great idea he had.
That's really cute.
Yeah,
Really
that's
cute.
super
I hope
cute.
he listens to this at some point. I'll have to send him the link and tell him I told a cute story about him.
Do we have any closing statements before we pack it up and hit this
Pack
up
it
in
up,
the
pack
next
it in.
year? Season 2?
I'm excited for
Yeah,
season 2.
Season 2 is going to be better than...
2022.
Back and better than ever.
Season 2, 2022.
Yeah.
Well, I
22.
just want to say I had a lot of fun. Thank you for having me do this with you. I felt very honored. I was like, me? You want me to be on your podcast? I was so excited. I'm still so excited. And I just hope that everyone has a very Merry Christmas and a happy
Yes.
holiday and a Happy New Year. Have a blessed 2022.
Stay safe.
Mm-hmm.
Stay safe.
Don't get sick.
Stay sane.
Yeah.
Stay healthy. Take care of yourself. If you have to unplug. Take a bath. Light some candles. Just
Yeah.
take care of yourself. That's my parting. Those are my parting words.
I
fully
concur.
agree.
Yeah. Do what makes you happy.
I just want to give a big shout out to our Patreon subscribers. We've been doing so well. We're up to 20 people now, and because of you guys, you're making this show happen. So you're funding better equipment. You're funding our stock music that we were putting in the beginning of that. I really that took a long time to get. So
And you
I
might
really
be
appreciate it.
giving us elves some fuel for the tough season where we work long hours. And I want to say thank you to, our buddy like Jeff who let us rent out the sound booth here, because usually he charges the elves a little fee, and he kind of like hooked us up for this. So
Thanks, Jeff. You're the best.
Yeah.
Jeff, Godspeed. He's been working long hours too.
He has been, and he also has been in the top tier of our Patreon too. Like, he's in the gingerbread tier where he gives us the most donations. So, Jeff, this one's for you. This is a shout out.
Thanks, Jeff.
Merry
Thanks,
Christmas.
Jeff. Merry Christmas,
Merry
everyone.
Christmas. Love you.
See you next year.
See ya.
Bye.
Merry
New Year!
Christmas.